Huh?
It's you.
Yeah, why?
So I have a pretty good story about this. So let's talk about gold diggers. A lot of you guys know I recently just got my first Lambo. Now, owning a car this bright, especially living in San Diego, I understood what was going to come with the territory. So on to the story time. Either way, I was at the gas station the other day filling up the Lambo, and this girl pulls up next to me in like a Nissan Altima, and she's like, yo, like, what's up? You're hella cute, blah, blah, blah. Let me get your number. We should go out sometime. I was like, wow, that was pretty straightforward. You know, you didn't even ask my name. You just directly said, do you want to go out sometime? And then she was like, are you single? And I was like, yeah, I'm single. And she's like, well, even if you weren't, you know, even if you were married, like I wouldn't care. Most married guys don't care anyway. At this moment, I felt extremely uncomfortable. I was like, you know what? I'm not really interested. You know, I'm just going to pump gas and dip out. She was still being pretty persistent at this point, and I was like, you know, by the way, like, this isn't actually my car. Like, I just rented it. I don't own it at all. She's like, oh, that changes everything. Her entire personality completely switched. She's like, oh, I don't date broke boys anyway. Like, you can't even afford the car, whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. So then I hop in the car and just, like, dip away. Later that night, she follows me on Instagram, DMs me on Instagram saying, like, you lied to me. This isn't a rental car. You bought this car. And I just hit her with the, you know, double tap and kept it moving. Now, the second story was today. I was out getting food, and there was a chick in front of me. This Asian chick had this really dope, like, dragon tattoo. And I wasn't trying to hit on her. I just saw like a really cool tattoo and I was like, oh, hey, miss, like I really like your tattoo. Like that's sick. Where'd you get it from? And she looked at me like with absolute disgust. Like I was like trying to hit her and like she had a boyfriend or something. I was like, oh, well, never mind. I just want to know where you got your tattoo at. But either way, just kept it moving. So we both get food. We're both going to the parking lot. She's in like some Subaru over here and like I'm in the Lambo over here, a couple spots over. And she looks at me getting in the Lambo and she starts walking towards me. She's like, wow, is that your car? And I was like, yeah, what's up? She's like, oh, well, I didn't know you had this car. And I was like, I didn't think I need to tell you I had this car. You know, you were kind of rude to me. And she's like, oh, what was the question you asked me inside? Like you said something about my tattoo, right? And I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of busy. I got to dip out real quick. Now, there's not really a moral to this story. I just thought it was kind of funny to share, but I feel like this could be like a whole separate series of like gold digger videos, but we'll see how it goes.